أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. In today's lecture 235, we will discuss expanding universe and the Qur'an. Expanding universe and the Qur'an. It is the fifth issue of the Qur'an and modern sciences. It relates to astrophysics. Since the mid of 20th century, the concept of a static universe has been replaced by the concept of a dynamic universe. Today, astrophysics has proven that the universe has a definite beginning. It came into being from nothingness in a single moment as a result of huge explosion about 13.8 billion years ago, generally known as the Big Bang. Since then, it is undergoing a constant process of movement, change, and expansion. However, it was just at the beginning of the 20th century that a Russian physicist, Alexander Friedmann, and the Belgian cosmologist Georges Lemaitre theoretically calculated that the universe is in constant motion and thus it is expanding. This notion was confirmed by the Edwin Hubble, the American astronomer, in 1929 on the basis of observational data collected with a telescope, discovering that the stars and galaxies were constantly moving away from each other. Such recent discoveries made by science, in fact, witness the truth of the facts revealed by the Qur'an about 1500 years ago regarding origin of the universe and its perpetual expansion. Focus of our discussion today is the question whether the scientific information is compatible with the Quranic information on the expanding universe. So, dear friends, according to the Big Bang cosmology developed in the recent past, the universe emerged from something of infinitesimal size, insignificant size, infinite density, and infinite temperature within a hundredth of a billionth of a trillionth fraction of a second. You may call it instant. The incident is generally named as a singularity or the Big Bang. Cosmologists are unsure, they are not sure of what existed before this moment and how it instantly exploded to become a colossal space or universe. Space or universe, both are the same. In common language, you may call it same. Thus, it leaves the Big Bang theory plagued with frivolous assumption of the missing first cause and evidently unscientific approach. However, as the expansion of the universe could be extrapolated mathematically forward in time, basing on the declining rate of density and temperature, it also helped to extrapolate backward to develop the sequence of the said Big Bang cosmology to the initial point. A confident beginning was made from observations of the cosmic microwave background containing the afterglow of light and radiation left over from the Big Bang. These traces pervading the universe, pervading throughout the universe, could firstly be observed by microwave detectors, which helped scientists to net together knit together the story of the origin of the universe. The data collected from such investigations helped astrophysicists build estimates of the time lapsed since the Big Bang to determine age of the universe at about 13.8 billion years. It thou carries wide acceptance. This idea of age 13.8 carries wide acceptance but lacks consensus. There is no consensus on this age of the universe. So dear friends, till the dawn of 20th century, science remained stuck up with the notion of static universe. In 1922, the Russian theorist Alexander Friedman realized that Einstein's universe is unstable, where the slightest perturbation would cause it to expand or contract. At that time, Vestro M. Slipher of Lowell Observatory was collecting the first evidence that galaxies are actually moving apart. Then in 1929, the eminent astronomer Edwin P. Hubble showed that the rate a galaxy is moving away from the Earth is roughly proportional to its distance from the Earth. Thus, an essential feature of the expansionary notion is that the average density in space declines. Average density in space declines as the universe expands. Both are negatively correlated. According to Hubble, expansion of the universe has little influence on the size of galaxies or even clusters of galaxies which are bound by gravity. Space is simply opening up between them. When the distance increases, it is in fact increasing the size of the space. To Hubble, a galaxy emits or absorbs some wavelengths of light more strongly than others. They have different capacities. If the galaxy is moving away from the Earth, these emissions and absorption and emission features are shifted to longer wavelengths. They give longer wavelengths. When the recession velocity increases, these wavelengths become more red. This phenomenon was named the redshift. Today's lecture is a bit difficult because of the subject. Please give full attention and focus. I'm sorry, it's a physics. Hubble's measurements indicated that the redshift of a distant galaxy is greater than that of one closer to the Earth. Mind it. This relation, now known as Hubble's law, which says the recession velocity of a galaxy is equal to its distance multiplied by a quantity called Hubble's constant. He also counted the number of visible galaxies in different directions in the sky and found that they appear to be rather uniformly distributed. They are distributed equally on every side, right, left, forward and backward. Though Hubble's law is challenged sometimes due to its assumptions, yet the notion of an expanding universe is generally accepted. All these complexities and disagreements putting aside, it is generally accepted theory of expanding universe. So dear friends, history of expansion of the universe is as awesome as its origin. As per standard cosmological model, after initial instant outburst of the universe, its exponential expansion, exponential, rapid, explosive expansion by about 90 times took place in a hundredth of a billionth of a trillionth of a trillionth fraction of a second. Instant. This stage is called inflation, not inflation of economics. It is inflation is instant outburst of the universe. After inflation, the universe continued to grow but at increasingly slower rate. The cosmos history witnessed that as the space or universe expanded, it cooled. It kept on cooling and let the matter and energy formed. As the universe expanded and temperature cooled, the light chemical elements were created within its first 3 minutes as protons and neutrons of hydrogen atoms collided to form deuterium, which combined to form helium atoms as source of energy, the process called fusion reaction. Fusion reaction. However, for the first about 400,000 years, in our local terms, 4 lakhs, 400,000 years, the universe was too hot for light to shine. It couldn't shine. In this phase, atoms smashed together with great force to break up into a dense opaque plasma of protons, neutrons, and electrons that scattered like fog. The stage called smoky universe in the Qur'an. In science, it is dark age. In Qur'an, it is smoky universe. Smoke everywhere. It was about 400 million years after the Big Bang when the universe began to come out of its dark ages or smoky ages. This dynamic phase was thought to have continued more than a half billion years, during which clumps of gas collapsed enough to form the very first stars and galaxies. This is the stage of universe evolution that has been described in Ayat 11 and 12 of Surah Fussilat in the words. Listen. Then he directed himself, Allah, then he directed himself to the heaven while it was smoke, dark age, and said to it and to the earth, come into being willingly or by compulsion. They replied, we have come willingly. We have come into existence willingly. And he completed them as 7 heavens within 2 days and inspired in each heaven its command. And we adorned the nearest, means worldly heaven, with lamps and protection. That is the determination of the exalted in might and knowing. Standard cosmological model shown on the screen explains how the universe passed through various stages to reach the stage when the stars and galaxies finally got their present shape. Very important. Have a look on the model. The verses we discussed, besides development of galaxies and stars at different levels of the universe and their respective command system, also refer to creation of earthly heaven, as-sama'ud dunya. This is the Arabic. As-sama, heaven, sky, ad-dunya, earthly, or the family of Milky Way galaxy comprising of more than 200 billion stars, the sun, and the 7-layered atmospheric protection system of the earth. This is the family of earth or the earthly heaven. The solar system is estimated to have been born 9 billion years after the Big Bang, making it about 4.8 billion years old. This is the fifth and sixth stages shown on the standard cosmological model, whereas in the verses, in the ayat, stage fifth and stage sixth have been mentioned as 2 days or periods when 4 days had already passed. Just imagine. So, dear friends, now the question arises, what will be the nature of expansion or future shape of the universe? Astrophysicists ascribe it to interplay between the rate of its expansion and the pull of gravity. Rate of expansion and pull of gravity, two elements. The strength of the pull depends in part on the density of the matter in the universe. If the density of the universe exceeds a specific critical value, then the universe will eventually stop expanding and start collapsing in on itself, the so-called Big Crunch, end of the universe. If the density of the universe is less than this critical density or exactly equals the critical density, it will have no bounds and it will keep on expanding forever, leading to big chill. It will cool down ultimately. However, so far, these notions neither carry much certainty nor they find consensus among the astrophysicists. From our discussion made so far on scientific discoveries related to origin and expansion of the universe, 4 important points may be derived. 4 points. Firstly, creation of the universe originated from the quantum singularity or nothingness, and it expanded exponentially with the great speed at the earliest stages. However, science could not find predecessor or the first cause of the Big Bang so far. Then second point, galaxies, stars, earthly heaven or the Milky Way galaxy, including the Sun and Earth, were born at much belated stage when the universe had emerged from dark or smoky stage. In the Qur'anic terminology, it happened in later 2 days out of the 6 days or 6 periods. Thirdly, the universe is still persistently growing, expanding. Fourthly, science is neither sure about future shape of the universe nor aware of its shape before it emerged from imaginary quantum singularity. Now, to appreciate the Quranic revelations made on these 4 points more than 1400 years ago, a few verses are quoted here. 1. The Qur'an reveals that Allah's command is subtle and carries absolute authority for the creation of the universe without constraints of time, cause, or logistics. Ayat 117 of Surah Baqarah says, Allah is the originator of the heavens and the earth. When He decrees a matter, He only says to it, be, and it is. Ayat 101 of Surah Al-An'am says, Allah is the originator of the heavens and the earth. Ayat 82 of Surah Yasin says, His means Allah's command is only when He intends a thing that He says to it, be, and it is. Number 2, the Qur'an reveals that universe expanded in phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Family of Milky Way galaxy came into being at a belated stage, as we saw in ayat 11 and 12 of Surah Fussilat earlier, now shown on the screen Have a look. Likewise, Ayat 30 of Surah Al-Anbiya reveals that Earth was detached from the solar mass at a much later stage. The ayat says, note the words, have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joint entity, and we separated them, detached them, and made from water every living thing, then will they not believe? It's a challenge. The Qur'an, number 3, the Qur'an reveals strong configuration of the universe and its expanding nature. Ayat 47 of Surah Az-Zariyat describes this fact as, and the heaven means universe, we constructed with strength, and indeed it is we who are already expanding it. Ayat 29 of Surah Rahman says, whoever is within the heavens and earth asks Allah, every day he is bringing about a matter, he is adding to the creation, to the glory of creation. Number 4, the Quran is very precise on Allah's absolute authority for the creation, life, expansion, contraction, collapse, and end of the universe are its constituents that include black holes, black matter, and black energy, about which we will discuss in some upcoming sittings. However, a few verses are quoted here. Ayat 26-27 of Surah Rahman say, everything created will perish. Everything created will perish and will remain the face of your Lord, owner of majesty. Ayat 67 of Surah Az-Zumar says, they have not apprised Allah with true appraisal, Allahu Akbar, while the earth entirely will be within His grip on the day of resurrection, and the heavens will be folded in His right hand like a straw, like a fly. Exalted is He and high above what they associate with Him. Ayat 2 of Surah Saba reveals about ascending and descending of matter from the heaven, that indicates creation of new stars and collapsing of old ones. Collapsing of stars may refer to black holes or creation of a new universe elsewhere beyond the vision of man of this universe. Or it may be creation of our universe, maybe one of them. Listen again. Creation of our universe may be one of such divinely experience, one of the divinely experiences. It may also be clue of multiverse, more than one universe, a possibility of multiple universes. The ayat says, He knows what penetrates into the earth and what emerges from it, and what descends from the heaven and what ascends therein, and He is the merciful, the forgiving. For more detailed study on these 4 points, some Quranic references are shown on the screen. Please note them. With this, we conclude our discussion under lecture 235. Please do subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join the noble cause. You may also visit website www.ideafoundation.com.pk to access the list of previous lectures. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.